is a new era, bringing it all together, getting your right mind, we grind, we do it forever, that's the only mission. Elevated thinking is a vision. Yeah, I'ma keep moving if this don't hit. You can't stop me when I hop aboard the spaceship. Sit and watch as I make shit. I am not a human, I'm a living constellation.
Like I said, we don't have a single script. I try not to do that because we're just here chilling, having a good time. And again, I appreciate you taking your time coming through.
No doubt. It's all good.
I'm excited to learn, get educated.
Been meaning to come through. You know, we talked about it a couple times, so you know.
Yeah, it was cool.
Made it happen.
It was cool. We could catch up at that show at the at Trend.
Yeah.
And just kind of touch on that. So I'm excited, man.
No doubt. Ready when you guys are.
How's everybody been doing? Let's do a vibe check real quick. How you doing?
Doing okay.
Life?
You know, I mean, I've been dealing with some things last couple of days, but you know,
Yeah.
just gotta keep pushing forward.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. My sentiments exactly.
I'm here.
Right.
But I had a big week, so usually what happens with me is I'll have like some of the greatest things ever happen to me and then some of the worst shit ever. And like simultaneously. So you're just kind of weeding out the dumb shit and you're just trying to look at the positive side of shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Do you because I think I don't know, this just literally just popped in my brain. Do you have like a set way that you run your schedule, or is it kind of like, I mean, obviously I'm sure you do, but
yeah, I do.
I mean, like, you know, like, hey, like we get up like Mondays, this is what we're doing.
Yeah,
Tuesdays.
the simple answer is yes. I have, because I'm on the radio in New York every Thursday.
Okay.
So I need to be in New York every Thursday.
All right.
You know? Then like Tuesdays and Sundays I got my daughter, so I need to be in Massachusetts.
Sure.
So there's just like, that's the basic thing. But then things pop up every day and opportunities pop up every day.
Of course.
And for example, the whole first 2 weeks of December, I will not be here. I'll be everywhere else but here. And I won't even be in New York either. I'll be in Miami. I'll be in Houston. I'll be here, there. So
jumping around.
when it's like that, you know, your regular life gets put to the back burner and you have to just turn on that full-time entertainer role.
Right. Because you're constant. I'm sure you're probably like out, you're talking to people, you're doing stuff. So
Every
it's
day. Video shows, all that shit.
You know, it's having that mindset even when you maybe don't have the mindset.
Yeah, you have to
get to
don't matter
put
how
that,
you feel.
You know,
you got to be a machine if you want to be consistent.
Yeah,
for years
sure.
and years and years.
For sure, because some people, they just can't. It shows, and sometimes you got to put on a little bit of those acting skills to just really be like, this is the job, this is what we signed up for.
Yeah.
So let's push through.
It is like that.
You know.
And I've just being in the game so long, I've just watched people fall apart and throw away, all that they've worked for and throw away their dreams because they like can't handle it, like mental health wise. They just can't tough it out. It's like, it's too much. They're like, nah, I don't need all this. I didn't sign up for all this. I just wanted to be a rapper. And,
Right.
I didn't know it came with all this. So
yeah,
I'm good. I'm going to fall back. And then there's those other people that, you know what I mean? Like, that been doing it for a long time and they continue to thug it out.
Yeah. But even then, I feel like if you, I don't know, again, I'm not in these people's shoes, but if like music is your passion, like I think there's lanes that you can still take where maybe like you're not like in the front center spotlight of everything, but like you can still enjoy that passion, create your music. I think it's the expectation that people go in with it when it comes to that of creating the music and then like, oh, now I have to get all these likes. It's like, dude, just do it for you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about if that's not what you're looking for, don't worry about the likes. Just make the music, put it out and let it rock how you want it to rock versus your expectation of how you want people to rock with
No
it.
wrong way to do it, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just
Right.
keep
Hopefully
pushing.
everybody's doing what's best for them.
Yeah. At the end of the day, mental health, keep that focus 100% because it's nothing to play with.
It wasn't even a conversation, before. And so now that it's such a focal point, I think we're headed in the right direction. Even though now we got to deal with things that, new stuff that comes up. So, you just got to adapt with the times. That's all.
Right. What would you say is like the biggest, I don't want to say challenge, but like maybe annoyance or just like that new perspective that people kind of put out there now versus, the 90s,
Yeah.
early 2s.
I think the accessibility that everybody feels entitled to now is just, it's unfortunate. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, people feel like, you know, you go right on your favorite rapper's page, and if he doesn't like the comment or write you back, it's like, oh, fuck him. It's like, whoa, where do we get to that point?
Yeah,
How do we get to the
right.
point that it's fuck Michael Jackson because he didn't write you a personalized letter back?
Yeah.
Where? How? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
I think that is just crazy to me now. The accessibility kind of ruined the mystique, and it ruined like the difference between somebody being a fan and somebody being a colleague. The entitlement is just through the roof. I think that, of course, if you work hard and you know what I'm saying, you're part of the music industry and you want to be acknowledged for that, that's cool. But I feel like there's kind of like blurred lines now on like what levels are anymore. Because it used to be like, and this is not even that long ago. This is like, you know, however many years ago. It's like, okay, I aspire to be on that level where that person is at, so I'm gonna give him that respect.
Right.
And now it's like, oh no, fuck you, you're just a person. Like, you know, if you're not nice to me, that's fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
It's wild. Like,
not that I think anybody is above being a great person, but I mean, if somebody is at a different level than you and they work to get there, you got to respect that level. There's a reason why they
Right.
are where they are.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
So
You know.
I just think that part right there, social media kind of messed that part up a little bit.
Is
Yeah.
it social media, or so I can ask you this because I'm a dad, you're a dad.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's the younger generation's parents, just not like?
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up, I'm sure how you did. You treat the janitor like you treat the boss.
You're
Doesn't
supposed
matter.
to, right?
You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. Like you were
Yeah.
saying, levels or whatever. That respect should always be there. Do you think it's the younger, like almost the parents' fault for not instilling that
Right.
into them? You know,
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
because you notice it more with like the younger
Yeah.
generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no real like morals and rules is anymore. The way a lot of us came up like traditionally, where it was like you respect your mother, you respect your father, you respect your grandmother above all. And I just think that a lot of that is out the window now. Now it's like
100%.
it's out the window.
100%.
So I'm not gonna specifically blame any person or people, but
Yeah.
I just think the world is just in a different space where it's like everybody's all out for themselves, and that old school mentality of family and respecting, you know, hierarchy is kind of like out the window.
Yeah, the respect.
And then
the
that
honor.
trickled down into everyday life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like somebody don't respect their mother, how are you gonna expect them to respect you? If they don't respect themselves, how do you expect them to respect you? So if I know you don't respect yourself, rather than me spending time trying to get you to respect me, I'll just get away from you, because I already know you're not gonna respect me. You don't even respect yourself.
Right.
So I don't even want to be around you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just
Yeah.
how I've been trying to do things these days. Like, nah, don't allow certain people access to me anymore.
Right. But then they hate you because you're distancing yourself, and you're like, dude, I'm trying to better myself and you.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Because
sure.
this relationship isn't going to work with us in the way the dynamic of what it is.
Yep.
So let's benefit me, let's benefit you, and let's part ways. But everybody's like, oh no, they're throwing shade now. They're hating.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not how it is. Not all
Yeah.
business needs to come together the way.
And
people do.
having a disagreement with somebody doesn't mean you hate them. Doesn't mean you wish bad on them. Just might be like, yo, our visions don't align at the moment.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah,
we could be cool, and you could stay over there. I could stay over here.
Right.
And we could still be cool. Like, yo, love is love.
Exactly.
Over there.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I've had debates with I don't want to say, I say debates, but I use that loosely, of like completely opposite sides. And at the end of it, we're like, cool. All right.
Yeah.
I'll check you later, man.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? And that's how it should be. But nowadays, it's like, you have a disagreement? No, I'm ready to fight you. I'm ready to do this.
Right.
I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to throw hate on social media, try to cancel you, all this other crap that
Yeah.
happens now. And it's like, why?
We're in a wild era.
No point.
You're wasting time. You're wasting effort for what?
Yeah, I do wish that people would take their time more seriously. You know, just understand how important and valuable your time is.
Dude,
It's really all you got.
It's gone like that.
So
Half the time.
we
you
waste
know?
so much time like investing in other people's problems, and you spend hours a day like chiming in on what this person did or might have did or that person did. It's like mind your own. Like, you know,
Yeah.
make a better life for you.
Focus
And
yeah.
stop worrying so much about everybody else. in a negative way, you know. If you're worrying about people because you want to help them, that's a different story. But
Right.
I just see like it's nonstop and it's always something. It's like, okay, right now the topic is Diddy, and 6 months ago it was Epstein or whoever, and 6 months before that it was, you know, January 6th with the whole storm. And it's always something where it's like you have to worry about what the rest of the world is thinking and chime in on it, rather than you minding your own business and taking care of yours and you and yours. You know what I mean?
Right. Stuff's gonna be gone tomorrow.
I'm better. I feel like we'd be better off if we really just like cared about ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. In the right ways, and it'll blossom into other people in the way that you're handling. You're taking care of yourself. You're handling yourself. It'll blossom into the people that are around you, and have a much better effect.
You walk into a room and it's 20 people and they're all talking about something. You almost gotta chime in, right? Or just sit there awkwardly and not say nothing. But if you walk into a room and everybody knows, like, yo, we're vibrating higher in this room, we're not talking about none of that goofy shit, then it's like, ooh, okay, I'm in the right room right now. Like, we're trying to help each other get paid. We're trying to share information. We're trying to do great things. We're not in here talking about other people or things like that. You know what I mean? That's the rooms I want to be in moving forward. Can't do nothing about what we already did before, but I want to be in those type of rooms where we're making each other better and we're helping each other.
Yeah.
You know?
I've walked in those rooms and I'm like, yo, I'm turning right around because I do not want to. I could just feel everything that I don't want to feel right now.
It's low vibrational energy, and you're not gaining nothing new from it, especially if you already have your opinion. Yeah. A very strong opinion, and sometimes your opinion is a fact to you. So you're like, nothing these people are going to say to me going to make me feel like I don't know what my gut is telling me what's going on in here. You know?
It can't change nothing.
And sometimes in the music industry, you have to be around low vibrational people because those might be the people in charge. So sometimes you have to be around them. Doesn't mean you have to agree with them. You don't have to, you know, be a monkey in their show. But sometimes you have to share spaces with those people. And it can be frustrating. But at the same time, just, you know, try to protect your energy. Don't get caught up in no fuck shit. You know, just keep it pushing.
Yeah, just do what you got to do and get out.
For sure.
Essentially.
And nobody's above that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
The richest people in the room still got to be in the room with the brokest people in the room. And we all got to somehow cross each other's path and coexist. You know what I mean?
The richest people rely on the broker people.
We were just talking about that.
You know what I'm saying?
We were just talking about that on the way here.
You know, that's how they...
we were talking about just like how everybody has their own opinions with the election and all this stuff. And it's like, yo, listen, man, nothing going to change because it's already set up a certain way where all the poor people are going to work and the people that are, you know, and better off are going to financially benefit from those poor people that are working, doing jobs that they don't want to do. And that's not going to change by who's in office. I don't feel like it is until there's like new systems put in place and new things set up. But the traditional system we've had for hundreds of years, it's gonna be the same old shit. Tomorrow we're gonna wake up and it's the same shit.
It feels the same, like, you know, no matter who's in, like,
so it is
the same things are still happening,
right? I mean, of course, you know, you want to have faith that in humanity and you want people to do the right thing, and some things get tweaked here and there to make things better, but the overall idea of, like, you know, 90% of the country is poor and going through it, and then you have, you know, another couple tiers of people that are doing better, and it's like, it's kind of what it's always been, you know? So, I mean, shit, look out for you and yours, man. That's the theme of what I'm on right now.
Absolutely. Nim, how you doing? How you doing over there? What's up? Welcome back.
Wait, can you hear me? Hi. I just know that I speak a little low. No, I speak low, so I just want to make sure that we can hear me.
You're good now. Yeah. Turned you up a little bit so you don't gotta lean in all the way either. How's everything?
Yeah, everything's good.
Staying busy?
Yeah.
Staying out of trouble? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Trouble seems to come to me though.
I feel that.
Sure does.
I know. I'm like, yo, I'm over here. Leave me alone. Like you were saying, like, I'm trying to not be in these rooms. I'm not trying to be around these people unless I have to.
Right.
And they're still here. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, man. It's like somebody always got a problem with somebody. And sometimes, you know, you're that person that's in somebody's way, even if you go stand over there in the corner and they could walk right by you. They're like, oh, you're bothering me. It's like, I'm not even looking at you. Like,
Right, yeah.
It's just like that, man.
Yeah, I'm staring at the wall and they'll be mad at you for staring at the wall.
Right,
like, why aren't you
exactly.
paying attention to my problems? Like, no, I'm trying to ignore your problems.
For sure.
In the right way, again, in the right way. If you're hurt, whatever. But, you know, we're all in the same mindset of what we're talking about here.
But we're doing good, man. We're mad busy, you know what I'm saying? They've been running around like crazy with me. I'm sure if you follow us on social media, you've been seeing a lot of stuff. You know, just last week alone, we did New York, we did Philly, shot the video with Freeway, Beanie Siegel in the video, shot another video the week before that with Static and Tech, rocked out Halloween party with Static. I mean, we did all that. We did the show with Sleen in Manchester, New Hampshire. That was super lit. Studio sessions, did a whole bunch of songs, like 10 new songs, you know, in the last like 14 days. So I'm busy and I'm keeping them busy. You know, I'm sending her invites like, yo, I'm going here. You want to pull up? Let's go. And every time she pulls up, something good happens for her. And that's basically what Static Selector used to do for me in the beginning. Mm-hmm. He used to always tell me, come to New York. If you come to New York, I'm doing this party, you know, with that person. You can come with me. You know, show up to the studio, rap on this beat. You got to do it today, though. Like this, in that same kind of like those same opportunities that Static was giving me is like kind of the same type of opportunities that I'm giving them. And yeah, it really the plan works if you do the work.
Right. You know? And you're just
Absolutely.
feeding other people off the knowledge that was given to you, and
Right.
you know it works. You know it's successful, and it isn't. You're looking out for you and yours, like you said.
For sure,
and,
man.
And it's like it's helping to grow the culture in the right way.
Absolutely.
You know, and not like, I mean, Nim, we've had these conversations before of how just people to just go about everything the complete wrong way, butchering it all up, and then again they're expecting this, they're expecting that, like something is owed to them, and it's like, dude, you're doing it the wrong way.
Yeah.
People want everything but to do the work. Like, they'll do literally anything to not do the work.
Yeah.
And then complain about it. And it's like, bro, like, you have to do the work. No matter what stage, I think, in the game you are at, especially from someone from the outside looking in right now, like, there's, just because, like, you're at a new level, now it gets even, you have to do even more work.
Yeah.
So it's like, like, if you're not doing the work from the level before, you're not even going to know how to manage the bigger workload that's to come. Like, you know what I mean? Just watching everybody, all these, like, you know, living legends that have stayed in the game for, you know, generations of hip hop. Like, that's not easy. And to consistently do that and watch what they do and watch how they grind every day and don't make any excuses, it's just, it's inspirational, and it's making me understand, like, no matter what, it's just always going to be more work.
It's like they say, when you level up, the boss gets harder. So there's things that you have to learn. You know, any video game, there's new skills that you learn in order to beat that boss. It's the same thing when you're leveling up in whatever it is that you're doing. There's new things that are gonna come across that you have to conquer, and it's not gonna be done with the basic tools that you learned at level 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Like, if you're on 15, like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, people just really want to skip the work, especially in this era, because too, like, the standard is so low right now on the quality of making music that everybody feels like they can do it because they really can. And then some of the biggest rappers and biggest artists in the world are like horrible artists, but they're still some of the biggest. So then they, like, in turn be like, okay, well, at least I'm better than this person and they did it, so I could do it. So rather than, like, trying to work hard and, like, hone the skills, it's more like, how can I finesse my way to the top? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's become
Oh my lord, yeah.
it's become a way of, like, how can I
It's
finesse
horrible.
myself to the next level?
Right.
You know, every day, how can I finesse somebody else and something else? Rather than saying every day, how can I go to the studio again and get better and work at my craft? And in turn, you know, link with some real official people that can give me the right information. It's like almost like they don't want the right information, they don't want the skills, they just want the shine and the bread, and they're willing to kind of do either nothing to get it, and that's why they don't pop, or willing to do anything to get it, and then all the integrity is out the window. So there's so many levels to to what the music industry is right now, and not only that, what social media is now, because you could actually be a whole ass artist only on social media and
Yeah.
not even be in the music industry, but you're still a whole artist. You feel it in your heart. You're like, people know me, I go places, you know, oh yeah, on the gram, I seen you on the gram, put out a couple songs. So in your mind, you're in the music industry. But if you ever pulled up to a music industry party in New York, you know, where anybody who's anybody is in that room, you would see how much you're not in the music industry. And nobody really in the music industry knows who you are at all.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like, damn, I got so much work to do.
Right.
And that's kind of like the delusional state that we're on with a lot of social media artists.
Right, and like, you know, the hard work, there's more, much more longevity in that than just like, you know, like you said, finessing your way to the top. Like,
Yeah.
but like, how long is that gonna last?
Right.
Maybe like 2 days, 3 days.
A finesse
or
don't
whatever.
last, man.
Yeah,
You know,
it doesn't, never does.
it doesn't, for whatever reason.
It's not authentic.
Right. And a lot of times when you finesse, you're linking with other people who finesse. So like their time is limited too. So you think, okay, I'm up. Yeah, I'm standing next to this guy. And then now this guy's going to jail for 20 years. And now it's like, well, what do? I can't get in anywhere anymore.
Yeah, right.
I can't, you know, I lost my plug. And then, so it's like, man, you just see the trickle down of the fuckery. But we, like one thing about us, me and mine, we've always tried to do it the right way, which is why I feel like me and Static have the longevity, because we didn't skip the steps, and we're still not skipping them. We're
Right.
still working harder than everybody in the room, even though we technically don't have to. We could totally fall back right now and still would have done some great things in the music industry and made a name for ourselves. And honestly, we could still get money without working, because we've done so much work. There's so many royalties. There's so many, you know, things already in place that are coming in. But who wants that? Who wants to stop? You know,
Right.
I want to keep going. I want to be greater.
Exactly.
I want to see them be greater. I want to, you know, work with all my boys and help them, and then work with people that are bigger than me and show them my value as a songwriter, as a producer, as a rapper, as a performer, as a designer, all the things that I bring to the table. I want to do that at a higher level. So why would I stop?
Right. It's the fundamentals. It's continuing to do the fundamentals. Like you look at some of the best NBA players, you look at some of the best athletes, like when they go back to it, it's like, you know, I'll use Steph Curry as an example. It's like when he goes into the gym, he doesn't start at the 3-point line.
Right.
He goes up to the hoop and he works on his form. He makes sure everything is set the way that it needs to. And people skip those fundamental steps, and then they're like, I don't get why my 3-pointer isn't working, dude, because your form is off. Your form is trash.
You're not even doing the basics.
Yeah, and then now I think that's why we have this cookie cutter. I need to put out like we were talking about off air of I need to put out a song every single week now, because that high fades so quickly that they have to like follow it up with something, or else they're gonna become irrelevant all over again.
Facts.
So they're like, and the quality of that track is trash, where it's not gonna give you that longevity to be like, yeah, I can sit on this song for 3 months and not worry about anything. Now it's like, I put it out enough so that people will rock with it for like a week and a half, but I need to make something else. It's like, yo, you're making people hungry. Feed them the right way.
That's an impossible pace to keep up with.
You're not feeding people the right way. You're leaving them hungry. It's like eating Chinese food. You're hungry in an hour, you know? You're not giving them the stuff that people need. Like I listen to songs all the time from the 90s, 80s, early 2000s. Like those are the songs that and they still hit.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's like
that
those
Quincy
are the
Jones shit. You know, rest in peace. The whole timeline for the last few days has been flooded with nothing but classics, and it's like, wow, these songs are so old and they're still rocking. So that was an inspiration for me, not only, you know, to keep going and to try to make better music and make the best music as I can, but I think it was a really good influence on all these garbage artists out now, because it's like, yo, look, this is from 1984 and it's still rocking. So like, you know, work on your craft so you can have music that stands the test of time. I feel like it was like inadvertently showing them how great All Over Again Michael Jackson was, and all the other songs that Quincy Jones produced.
Because you got to look at it too. If you look at, we'll say, like songs that are played in arenas, commercials, things like that, they aren't songs that are out now. They're songs that have been stood the test of time consistently. They're not looking for that stuff. They're looking for the songs that connect with people, that were made correctly, made the right way, have substance to it, and stand the test of time.
Make you feel good too.
Yeah,
Just feel
it
good.
brings you back. Like some of the songs that I hear now, which I don't really listen to much now because I think it's garbage. It doesn't give you the same emotion that you did back in the 2000s, where you could play a song and you're like, yo, I am right back in high school,
right,
reliving that moment where that girl broke up with me and I was playing basketball and I was doing X, Y, and Z. Now it's like,
I think one of the artists like that really gave us that nostalgia is Kendrick. I think just having the album run he had with 3-4 classic albums in a row. I think he's a good example. Even though he's not a new artist anymore, he's been at it for so long now that he's almost looked at like he's becoming a legacy artist. For a long time, people just were like, "Who are the new artists you like?" J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake. There was over and over the same names you kept hearing, which they some of the greatest artists of this generation. But now they're becoming OGs. So considering if we're looking at Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole like OGs now, who's gonna be the new artist to step up and make timeless music now?
right.
So that's what I'm looking for. Who's next? Who's gonna be the artist that really says some real stuff that's gonna matter, and sonically the music fits and matches and it hits you right and it stands the test of time. I'm interested in seeing that because before Good Kid, Mad City came out, I feel like we were in this weird space where none of the new artists were making classics. And then, he came with that, and then J. Cole, Forest Hill Drives and stuff. So it was like we had a nice little resurgence of people making classic music, and then it's kind of missing right now.
We're back to that lull.
I just feel like, they're not like us as classic for sure, but albums. Like, where's the classic albums at? I'm looking forward to seeing in 2025, and beyond. Like, who's gonna make classic albums now?
Yeah, the albums that you could literally just sit front to back and just consistently listen to.
I feel like somebody is gonna do it. I just don't know who.
Yeah.
So I'm not even talking negative about anybody. It's actually
Right.
I'm actually inquiring who's gonna be the new person to come out and just make that heat. You know what I mean? I'm interested. I'm interested to see. And that's one thing I love building with Nim about, because I'm 42, she's 27, right? So there's a 15-year age gap there. So stuff that's classic to her, she'll be like, yo, when that Young Jeezy came out, that was classic. And I'm like, it is. It's true. It was classic for me too.
Yeah.
Right? But it was I'm gonna hit you with the when that Wu-Tang came out, it's a different era.
Yeah.
Right? So they're both classic in different eras. Just like Good Kid, Mad City is a classic of 2012 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there's different eras of what's classic. But what I was saying about building with her and some other younger artists is they really opened my mind to what else is also considered a classic to different generations.
Yeah,
true. Because some people are just so stuck in their ways that they have in their mind what's a certified classic and they don't care what nobody else thinks. Whereas me, I want to know what other people think is a classic, so I can compare and contrast, and then also say, okay, well, how are we gonna elevate that? How are we gonna elevate her era, my era, your era? We all come from different eras and have different classics. So it's all right, I want to know what everybody thinks is a classic, so we can figure out how we can make the new classics.
Yeah. Keep it going, keep it continuous, and Yeah, there's always I love having conversations about music and just what do you consider? What really captured you? What can you listen to front to back just consistently? It doesn't matter what time of day, whatever it is. I can throw that in my CD player, I can throw it on a vinyl and just sit and just be cool. I don't need to skip nothing. I can just let it rock. And like you said, it now it's not even albums anymore. It's just single. Where I miss those days of the newer people. We still have, the OGs that are still putting out, the classic albums and putting in the work to make just solid projects. But there's nobody, like you said, that just is putting those projects out that people are just like, man, I'm just going to sit back and just live with this. Yeah. For longer than a week.
Right. That's the thing. Longer than a week, longer than a month, longer than 2 weeks. How can we... I think they said the average attention span is 7 seconds now.
Yeah. crazy.
I mean, you could literally see the coolest thing you've ever seen, and in 7 seconds you're over it already. Like, wow, that's really cool, dope. Next, you know, it's I'm serious, like for real.
No,
Like,
it's true, 100%.
you can see the baddest bitch you ever seen in your life, the nicest car you ever seen, the dopest hoodie, like what anything ever, bro. Like, I never been to this country. This looks cool. Like, you're not staying on that for more than 60 seconds, bro. You know, and the average is 7 seconds. So I mean,
And
our
then
kids,
yeah.
what's theirs? 2 seconds?
Right.
Honestly, like
No, for real.
No. I watch my daughter do this all day, like, and I'm like, yo, like this next generation is not gonna give a fuck about anything. You gotta have a tablet going with a TV playing, with the computer on, with a phone in your hand, to
And music in the
to
background.
be mentally stimulated, like at all. Like,
No, you
it's
are
so
100% true.
crazy now, dog. Like, so anyway, I think that has to do with making classic albums too, because it's like, if we don't have no attention span, like how are we gonna dive into these albums and actually love them for more than a week? Because the new thing is out with the old and with the new all day. What's next? Whereas like shit, I think another hard part is like rappers can't really rap like that anymore too, and that makes it kind of hard.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because you're like, well, why would I listen to you when you're not saying nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
The
that's
producer's getting paid now.
yeah,
They're liking the beat more than they're liking the artist that's rapping.
for sure, and that's cool. I mean, there's no song without the beat, right? It's
yeah,
50-50.
exactly.
But making a classic album without saying anything it's hard.
Right.
That's debatable that can even be a thing.
Right.
Especially right now where hip hop and just music in general is so competitive. There was a stat, I think it was like 70,000 songs a day get uploaded on Spotify. So how you couldn't even consume all that music. You couldn't even consume enough the music that comes out in one day. If you sat there all day from the minute you woke up till you went to sleep for a whole year, you couldn't consume the music for one day. Like you'd give up. You're not even getting to the good shit because there's so much bad shit.
It's oversaturated.
It's so OD, bro. But that's one thing that I like to take pride in is making albums, right? So it's debatable on whether somebody else thinks it's a classic or not, but at least I know I gave it my all. I picked the best beats. I used the best engineers. I try to involve great singers, great songwriters, you know, multiple layers and levels and concepts, cool names, good artwork, still do the vinyl, still do the CD, tape cassette, album release party, rollout, music video. I try to do like all the things that make it have that feeling of it's a real album. It's not just a throwaway project or a couple songs. It's like has an intro, has a middle, has a single, maybe two, has an outro, gives you a story, you know, has
it
a
adds
name,
value to
And
it.
like a whole experience with it.
That's what I try to do.
Yeah.
So I kind of like don't mind being in this kind of almost legacy space of an artist where I'm like, it's okay. They call me like Uncle now and OG and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the younger dude, yo, what an OG. Like, all right, cool, man. I'm happy to be that.
Proud to have
I'm
that-
happy to
have
be
that
an
name,
OG at this point. And all I could do is show you how to do OG shit. I
Yeah.
can't be back 19 again, you know, doing shit 19-year-olds do. I gotta be a grown ass man.
Right, exactly.
And lead by a good example, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, I miss the days of like, you know, the consistent music videos that were coming out. Like you look forward to that.
Yeah.
For me, it added to the song. It made me invested more into it because
Sure.
obviously you hear it and then you're like, you get the visual behind the artist's mind and why, you know, maybe why they made it or just the creativity of it all. And you're like, I'm even more invested into this.
For sure.
And then it's like, I want to. And then you got into like, now I want to see that live. Now I'm
Yeah.
going to pop up to a show. Now I'm going to have a completely other experience.
And now it becomes a classic because now you have a visual to it. You already kind of liked it, but now you love it. And now you won't forget how you felt when you seen the visual, and you might watch it again and share it with your friends. So it's creating more of a story than just like you heard the song one time and then you forgot about it. You know, like Kendrick Be Humble. When I seen that video with everybody's head on fire and shit,
Right.
I was like, this is the coolest shit I ever seen. I wanted to keep watching it over and over and over. And it's like that's the type of shit that makes a record a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to sit with my friends all the time. I'd still even do it now, and we would just have the computer on, just vibe into music.
Yeah.
But like we would just play music videos and just watch.
Facts.
And just
We still do.
nostalgic
All the time.
Just the
We
nostalgia.
still
of
do.
it.
Me, all my homies, you know, me, Static, you know, Nim, the ST guy, all of us, Jam, my producer, we just be all sitting around just like watching everybody's stuff to just see, you know, see what's going on. And then sometimes going back to the nostalgic stuff. I watch NPR a lot to get like Tiny Desk and stuff. I like to see how people perform live and how they perform differently with a band, without a band. Because that's also another thing. A lot of people, the live performance aspect is totally flipped upside down. You know what I mean? Where it's almost like you're just hearing the song and everybody's bugging out now versus like you're actually saying your words, and you know what I mean? So that's a whole nother crazy thing. So I really love watching people that can actually perform, being that it's a lost art. It's okay now for, you know, certain people, and it's not even the young generation, it's OGs too. It's just okay now to go to a rap show and watch 15 people rap over their vocals. And that's what it was. Like, it's become
wild to me.
Okay now for that to be a thing.
Yeah.
So what I always tell my people is like, yo, learn your words, do a little TV track. You can have some backups. Try to get a DJ. You know, just try to create a routine. Don't just go up there winging it and just letting your song play. That ain't it.
It's got to be.
That can't stand the test of time.
Right. I mean, we've said it a million times on here. It has to be a new experience. And if you're going to play that song, I'll just go listen to it in my car.
Right. I went to Rolling Loud with my daughter, my older daughter. We went to Rolling Loud. It was like a 3-day festival in Miami.
Yep.
And that was the first time I seen it on that level, that major artists. It was every single artist.
Really?
Every single artist. Every one. It was probably like, let's say, if I'm being nice, let's say it was 30 artists a day, right? 90 artists I seen. I would say maybe 5 of them didn't rap over their vocals.
Wow.
Maybe 5. And
That's
I think that
tough.
Yeah, I think that it was like Travis put on a good show. He was the headliner. You know, he's known as a great performer. Post Malone, you know, he really got up there, sang guitar, all that. Those are major artists. We're not expecting to see them rap on their vocals like all these young cats with only one hit, you know, or newer artists that don't have any OGs. You know what I'm saying? Telling them, yo, that ain't it. But every other person besides like Travis, Posty, and like a small handful of others was just playing the song and just bugging out, just bouncing around. Shit, literally not even putting the mic to their mouth. They're not even trying, bro. We're just bugging out at this point. Like, yo, play the song where everybody likes the song. Kids are going crazy in the crowd. This is the new experience of what a rap concert is now.
That's like like those DJs that just hit DJ press play and just let it, like, oh, I'll do it. Like, no, you just hit play. Like,
That's a whole nother story.
Change.
I think it was either last year or the year before. One of my friends had signed up for South by Southwest, and we were talking, and I was like, oh, you have a DJ? And he was like, no. I'm like, well, how are you gonna play your music? And he said, oh, they'll handle that. I said, no, they won't. I said, you have to. I said, did you look through the packages? This package does not include a DJ. You have to bring your own sound plan. And like people, they're just so, I think, so excited to just do whatever. Oh, I'm at South by Southwest. They don't think about everything that goes into it. They don't think about the fact that, like, you know, there's an art of, like, you know, musicians, engineers, sound people, like, that people don't think about anymore because they just put their phone on the aux and just doing whatever and bugging out. But the higher you get in those levels, it's like, if your sound is off, like, your whole show is over. It sucks.
It looks terrible.
No one's gonna want to sit there and listen to, you know, squeaks and this and that, like all these malfunctions going on, and like nobody comes early to do sound check. Like, that is not even a thing anymore.
Right. Which is also wild.
That really upsets me because it's like, you know, as an artist that's not even at that level, it's like, how am I supposed to take you seriously and bring myself, my friends, people to a platform and help it grow when you're not even taking me seriously as an artist? So I think it's just so crazy to me that, like, people don't even think about those things, and they don't even think about the quality or like what it really takes to put on a good show. Like, you can be a recording artist, like Term was saying, you could be a recording artist, Instagram artist, and never hit the stage, then get to that level, hit the stage, and everyone's talking crap about you on social media the next day because here you have like the #1 single and you can't even perform it. Like, that's just I think that's just such a shame that art is being lost, of really connecting with your fans and audience in real life, because that's more valuable than, I think, than hearing it on the radio, you know? You can actually get the chance to connect with a whole different demographic of people. And sometimes you're on a show with like people that don't do the same thing as you do, so you're reaching people that don't even know who you are, and that's the first impression they get, and now you're a clown.
Yeah. You just look foolish standing up there. They can't hear you. The beat's fading in and out. Nothing's matching up. You can't hear it. It's like,
It absolutely sucks.
The funniest shit is like, the other thing is like, I seen an artist walk up to the DJ and be like, "You don't got my music?" And the DJ's like, I don't even know you, dog. Like, and now like this random rapper that wants to beat up the DJ who's about to do you a favor and play your song, which is probably whack. So he's super doing you double favor now because you know what I'm saying? Because not only is he working for you, like physically working for you, but now he's going against his own integrity and playing something he never would have played because you're hired in the same spot as him. And now you're like, you don't got my music. Like, yo, fuck this dude. It's like, yo, bro, like we're in a fucking simulation right now with that shit.
Yeah.
And I also seen one dude walked up like trying to plug the phone into the computer, and it's like, dog, we're not in that world. Like this DJ, you need to give this DJ your files, and like he needs to have the proper files, and then you grab the mic and you rap over the file. It's like you don't get to just walk in and be like, now the whole, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, bro, crazy things happening at that level.
Yeah,
but I think it's just rather than complaining about it, I think it's just better that the OGs just try to just give jewels to the younger cats. That's it. Which is why I love doing podcasts, because people do watch them and people do watch clips and YouTube shorts and TikToks and all that and be like, yo, Tom, man, I watched this interview when you said this and that and it really helped me. And I hear that all the time everywhere I go. So I'm like, all right, let's give the jewels, man, and just hope that people soak it up.
Do it the right way, man. Like it's really a lost art how people just skip those steps and then they're plugging aux cords in and you're just like, dude. That's why, like, again, I stick to the fundamentals anytime I perform. It's like, they're like, hey, we got a show for you. Okay, like, what's the DJ look like? Are you providing a DJ, or do I have to get one? Facts. Is it an aux thing? It's an aux thing. I might have to bow out of this one. Depending on what it is. Depending on what it is. You know what I mean?
If we're just turning up in the club and nobody cares and nobody in there really cares about the rules or anything and they just want to bug out, cool, man. I get it. Yeah. That's not really the kind of party I want to be at anyway, but I can see the value in it if we're just doing a walkthrough or if we're just going real quick to just, hey, what's up? We pulled up, we took some pics. Cool. But as far as me like throwing events like that or being involved as it, I don't want to do that. And even with the show that we just did, right? I wasn't the promoter on the show. And still, I made sure I called the club. I made sure I called the real promoter of the show, the person that paid us. I hired my own DJ that went up there. We practiced, we rehearsed. He came, brought his own turntables, which usually they hate doing, but he wanted to make sure that he kept his integrity as a DJ. Went up there, did scratches in between the songs and stuff. It was like we collectively came together as OGs to make sure that we gave a great concert to the people. And even though half the people in the room were not really professional artists, but they're inspiring artists, aspiring artists, we showed them how to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, yeah, look, you can tell they really cared. You can tell they really practiced and got the right DJ. And I put that on myself even though I wasn't the promoter.
Right.
I made sure that we wasn't just going up there looking crazy with aux cords,
Right. But I mean, it keeps along, like we've been saying, it keeps along with your integrity. And if if you're doing shows like that and then all of a sudden you show up and you're like, I'll just throw an aux cord in, like they're gonna be like, is he like, what is he doing? Is he is he selling out? Is he forgetting his morals? Is he forgetting the way that he used to do everything? And then it's like, oh, that must be the new norm. Like,
it's hard watching your favorite artists fall off too. So that because we all got to go through that. So that's a big fear that I have. I still get in the booth and rap with the best of them. I still come up with incredible rhymes on the spot. I still, rock live shows, embody it, and know how to command the crowd. And I've been doing this for 20 years, so I personally don't think that I'll ever lose that. I can only be my worst enemy by doing what you said, just not caring one day, just waking up and saying, nah, I don't care anymore. Just play the song. Just
Skipping steps.
just show up and get my bag and leave. So
Right.
when it gets to that point where dudes are jaded and dudes are just over it, it's almost like you might as well just just bow out, yo, so we can just remember the great version of you.
Right, because then you're showing like, oh, this is what it looks like when you're kind of on the back end of your career, and it's
Yeah.
like, no, he went out with a bang.
Yeah,
like
man.
he went out doing the thing that he does.
I still got it. I want to keep that.
Yeah.
I want people to remember me great.
Yeah,
You know? Which is why I'm pretty hard on myself if I ever have a bad performance or if I ever show up late, which 99.9% of the time I never have a bad performance or show up late. But there's always that one, you know,
There's always
one time
that
where you
stuff,
made a
yeah.
mistake or, you know, something's out of your hands, whatever. But man, that shit is important to me. It's important to me, and it's important to the people that I came in this game with, like DJ Deadeye and like Static Selector and Easy Money, and you know, just my dudes from my era that really cared about this shit. We still do.
I just want to say R.I.P. to Fat Man Scoop, because I seen him at the Bushwick Collective block party.
that wasn't that long ago, right?
That man,
That was in June.
That
Yeah.
man, I've never seen someone move so much in my life, give so much of themselves, and like that's that generation that like it I don't want it to stop with that generation. Seeing that, like, you know, like seeing him move more and be more vocal than half the artists that I know, like that have the energy and have the health to do that.
Right.
Like, I just think it's a shame that more people aren't taking it seriously. But you know, R.I.P. to him, because
Definitely,
that
for
was amazing
sure.
to see. You know, my childhood like visually, like
Yeah.
video all the time, and then being able to see how much he gave. You know, gives. It's just. It's unbelievable, and I just don't want that to ever go away. 'Cause that was an amazing experience, for real.
Word up, rest in peace, Fat Man Scoop, and rest in peace, Clark Kent. You know, man, if you don't know about Clark Kent, man, please do your history, do your Googles. You know, Clark Kent has been DJing since 1975. He DJ'd his first set when he was 8 years old. In the park, like while they were creating hip hop, and it's like that man is so influential to our culture. Rest in peace. I'm actually going to his service on Thursday. He was a good friend of mine. Rest in peace, Knowledge, another local legend.
Yep.
I'm going to his service tomorrow too. So it's like, man, it's unfortunate we're losing all these legends. But back to what Nim was saying, I think what the most important thing she said was that it shouldn't have to stop with them. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We
for
should
sure.
keep it going, and there should be, you know, that energy doesn't die, right? So we got to keep it going, and we gotta care about our culture, man.
You gotta
Or
keep
else-
transferring
or else it
it.
will die.
You gotta keep
Absolutely.
transferring.
We gotta
it out.
care about
yeah,
it.
for sure. I think the problem is that people aren't listening to learn anymore. I know we always hear like the listening to understand and stuff, but I think a lot of people aren't listening to learn. Like you were saying, like when I come into rooms like this, like I've said it a million times when I do this pod, like I'm just getting fed off of having conversations with people. So like when I go to shows and I see like legends that are there or people that are more experienced than I am, I'm observing, I'm watching, I'm learning. I'm like, how are you doing this? What are you doing? How are you doing it? What does that look like? You know, does that work? Does that not work? Is that going to work for me? Is that not going to work for me?
Yeah.
Right.
And taking these things and applying it to myself where necessary. Whereas I think people, you know, they just show up to using a show as an example, they just show up to a show, all right, I'm going to perform. I'm not like taking anything in. It's like, yeah, there's opportunities to network. There's opportunities to capture something from somebody else. There's opportunities to learn. It's much bigger than just putting on the performance, which obviously is part of why you're there and an important piece of it. But there's so many different things that people are missing in those opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, taking those opportunities. There's like an opportunity, and then there's branches coming off of that opportunity of things that you can take from this experience.
I always try to listen more than I talk. And unless like I'm literally on the radio and it's my time to talk, I'm usually in every room trying to listen to, especially if I'm in a room where I'm around people I know I could learn from.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I'm always trying to listen because we always can learn more until the day we die. So,
Absolutely.
you know,
That's how I go about everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm more observant than anything.
for sure.
You know.
And like you said, right, apply it where necessary. Sometimes people can't be in the room with you because when they hear you talking about it, one thing you say, I don't need that. That doesn't apply to me. But you're already shutting off all the rest of the information you're about to learn. You know, it's just being ignorant. And another thing you said too is like we're artists they come in a room and they're just coming to perform, and then they leave and they didn't learn anything. That right there is like the quickest way to get yourself up out of here, because nobody's bigger than the program. Nobody's bigger than hip hop.
Yeah.
Nobody's bigger than the music and the art. So even those artists that are major and they come and they got a hit and they're doing their thing, if they're not learning it and they're not keeping it alive, it's a ticking time until you up out of here. It's those people that come and like really care about the art and do listen and learn and apply that stand the test of time. At least from what I've seen, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And that, like we said, like with the music, it's like, do you want to have music that is just here for a second, or do you want music that is going to be played in commercials and in these spaces well after even you're gone?
Yeah.
Where they're like, no, like we're not playing the stuff right now. We want the good stuff.
Yeah, we're at a point though where half the people don't care to learn.
Yeah, 100%.
My boy Destroy got his own show on Shade 45, and he pretty much dedicates his everyday life to educating people on music, specifically hip hop, but just music and culture. And he does it in a funny way, right? It can be aggressive, and sometimes I feel bad for some of the guests because he wows out on them so much. But at the same time, he's literally watching his culture that he gave his whole life to just kind of be ruined by people that don't care to know the culture. So, you know, every time he has people come up there, he'll ask them like, yo, what do you know about Fat Man Scoop? What do you know about Clark Kent? What do you know about K Slay? What do you know? And when people are like, oh, I don't know who's that, he'd be like, he's going crazy because it's literally driving him crazy. But I think him making a big deal out of it, at first I was a little unsure about his approach, because I'm like, yelling at the youth that they don't know nothing about this culture is not the right way, because that's not going to make them listen. That just reminds of us when we were young, and our parents told us about a bunch of shit we didn't want to hear about too. So at first I didn't get it, but now as I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, you're doing it on a major platform and you're forcing the person to at least know the answer before they leave, right?
Yeah.
So at least now when they leave, they ain't never going to forget who K Slay was, because you just got screamed at in front of 2 million people on Eminem's radio station.
You better know who he is.
So, you know, at first I was like, I don't know if that approach is going to work. But now that I'm seeing his consistency, I'm like, nah, I think it is working, even if it's one person at a time. And then not only the one person, but the 2 million people listening at any given time is also being educated. Because let's be real, DJ K-Slay came in the game in the 70s. I'm not expecting every young kid that's a rapper to know who he is. But a lot of people are, because you're supposed to respect your culture and go back and figure out who started this shit and why and how. But you know, just being logical, I'm not expecting every kid that raps to know who the OGs are. I wish they would. I would hope they would, but I'm not expecting it. You know what I mean? We can just show love, and hopefully they care and want to look into it.
But that's why you have platforms like that, where it gives them the opportunity to learn. If they haven't done it, then you know. But I think you should do your due diligence and go back. Like when I first started, like I got into hip hop super late as far as like my career and just like music and understanding it. But when I started, I was like, I need to understand what this is. Like, let me go back. And even some of the legends, the greats, are they like necessarily my like top 5? Maybe not, because that wasn't the music that I grew up with and respectively. But I 100% understand what they've contributed to the music industry, and understand why other people would say, yeah, that's my top 5.
Yeah.
And I can understand that. And I'm like, okay, I can see that. It may not be like the same for me as far as like the nostalgia and like that feeling, but 100% I understand.
They don't got to be in your top anything. Exactly. But you should acknowledge them for what they've done, specifically if they were somebody who did have a large impact on the game, you know, or just on the culture. Like just the other day, we did a video with DMC from Run DMC, and a lot of times, you know, I'll tell like my mom or older people like who I'm gonna be around. It's like, I'm doing a video, Run DMC. It's like, what? Run DMC? Like, that's my era. Like, man, if your mom is excited about some rap shit you're doing, you know that's some legendary shit, right? Shout out to Marco Polo Vision. Shout out to Bun B. They had this video called Bun DMC. They flipped the Run
That's
DMC,
cool.
so it's Bun
That's
and
cool
DMC.
already. That's cool
So yeah,
already.
so we all showed up in our Adidas, you know, taking off our Adidas in the video.
Yep.
You know, he was showing mad love to Boston and throwing up threes in the video, telling us like how, you know, Boston was one of his biggest markets because of Adidas, that they would come here and everybody would have the Adidas. And man, just being in a video shoot with somebody like that and just getting to learn from them is so legendary. And even though I didn't grow up playing Run DMC all the time, they were on TV all the time. I knew the importance of who they were, and I still know. And I was like, man, this is so cool. So I was happy I got that experience, and seeing somebody like Bun B, who's so respected in the culture,
For sure.
fan out. Like, yo, what? This is
Right.
Run DMC, dog. Like, what are you talking about? So that was a cool moment for me, and that also keeps me going in this stuff. Like, we in the car after and before playing Run DMC now. You know what I'm saying? Bugging out. And it's cool. Like, this young kid, he's an upcoming rapper. His name's Little D. He got to spit it.
He's nasty.
He's nasty, right? And I
Yeah.
think D's 19 now. He came in the game at like 14. He's been doing this thing for a while. He's 19 now.
I've known
When
him
he
when
first came out, yeah.
I've known him since he was like 11.
That's what I'm saying. He's been
Yeah.
doing cyphers since a
been
kid
doing
and
it.
crushing shit. So he got to spit for Bun, and we all standing around and Bun's like, okay, like, you know, so watch, you know, seeing hip hop be alive to the point where we're all in a basketball court in New York on the corner, 100 people outside, you know what I'm saying? And we're all there, and you got like the level of DMC, the OG level of DMC, all the way young artists like Nim K's in the video and chopping it up with DMC, and you got Lil D spitting for Bun B. All this is happening in real time, where this is like little kids, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, going into
Everybody.
60-year-olds. And we're all there sharing information. You know what I'm saying? And we're all in video together, hanging out, you know, following each other, taking pictures. That is so beautiful for hip hop. I still have faith in that type of stuff. You know, and the hip hop I love, I have faith in it because I see it existing still in real time. And, you know, and like she said, Bushwick Block Party, Bushwick Collective. It's like little kids out there, and then it's 60-year-olds out there, and everybody in between. So I love that type of stuff for hip hop. And when people say like hip hop is dead or it's not how it used to be and all that stuff, it's true. But you guys also just don't be where it's at. It exists.
Yeah.
Go find it. Put yourself where it's at, you know?
And like
Yeah.
as artists, like we need to make it the way that we need to so like the way I go about making my music is like I take my experiences, I write that down, and then like I also think about like how it's gonna affect everybody else.
What you say?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Dope.
It's important.
Because, you know, people go through similar situations and
Yeah.
you know, maybe it happen different ways.
And that's how you
Right.
gain real fans too.
Right, exactly.
Like being relatable, doing the music that people can actually relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to bring the generations together. I think there is that like divide where it's like, oh, I'm the younger generation. I can't learn anything from you. You're old. You're the OG. Like
Yeah.
you can't teach me anything. This is a new era, and it's like, no, that these things are still possible, and those are great examples of how those things happen, where you have literally just generation after generation in one spot, just feeding off of each other, and just generational blessings being passed down, and just being like keeping that culture alive. It doesn't necessarily have to look exactly the same that it did at that 60-year-old generation, but the knowledge and the wealth that is being passed down is important to that 19-year-old kid.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
10-year-old kid that's
Sharing
like,
that information, yeah.
you know, that 10-year-old kid that's watching, like, you know what, I really do want to make it in music, but I want to do it the right way. And being around these people and surrounding myself with the right people.
For sure.
It's those little moments like that people are, the spark hits people, and they're just like, yeah, this is how I want to do it, because I can see that it works, because I can see not only, again, the 10-year-old that's here, the 19-year-old, the 30, and all the way up.
I learned so much from the youth, man. Doing the backpack giveaways and stuff too. Just like, I learned so much. Like, the perspective, they have a totally different perspective than us, and all the way down to the slang. Like,
Yo, the slang is
the
crazy.
slang. I mean, the slang is ever changing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I learned so much from everybody. I try to soak up, a lot of times when I'm in the studio, I'll just invite a bunch of people, and even if nobody that's there gets on the track, just having them there and knowing that they're accessible and that we can just be like, all right, yo, go in and try that. Yo, do this, do that. Yo, you got something else for this? I love that energy. And then you got your days where you're mixing and mastering. You don't want nobody there because it's not a party day.
Yeah.
It's not a bring some Hennessy, let's all bug out and see what happened. It's like, yo, I'm just sitting there with my mixing mastering engineer, and we're trying to make this classic, and that's all that we're thinking about. So there's a time and a place for everything, but I do like learning from the younger generation.
Yeah, I work with kids at essentially like a military boys and girls club. And, and there's programs like Youth of the Year and Keystone Clubs, which are leadership groups and stuff. And as the advisor, you think that the kids are looking to me for information, and I'm here to feed them and help them and nurture them in the right way. But like little do they know, or and I try to explain to them too. I'm like, guys, I'm feeding off of you guys too. Like, there's so much that I'm taking in, and just like who you are as people, and just watching you find your authentic self and find who you are, and just learning from that as well too. Like, you guys have power, you guys have a voice where like you can encourage the older generation to even like just keep doing what they're doing. When you see them learning from what you've shared with them and then applying it, you're like, man, okay, now I understand, like what I'm doing is like, it's doing something, it's being meaningful for it. And I'm gonna keep pushing forward towards that.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope you do that.
It's important, and I love that, you're giving back to the community. I see every year the Good Dad Gang, doing the backpacks and just being involved. It's so important. I think the other aspect too is like people aren't trying to give back anymore. Like we've said, it's all about me mentality, and they're not, especially to their communities, the community that supported you on your way up. You're like, I'm out. Peace.
It's almost like nobody wants to go back to the community or give back to the community.
It's wild.
And being that I did it for 10 years, the backpack giveaway, and the people have showed up every year and like personally thanked me, and some people, Lawrence being the poorest city in Massachusetts and one of the poorest cities in the whole United States, especially like in the 80s and 90s, like in the era that I grew up in, Lawrence was crazy, and it's still one of the poorest cities. But I say that to say that they really still need a lot of help. The people need help, and if you put it into perspective of somebody who's doing well off, you probably wouldn't, sit there for an hour or two waiting in line to just get a slice of pizza and a backpack. You probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. We probably wouldn't have to do that. But when you look at the line and there's 100 people there, you realize that people need all the help they can get.
Right.
And they might have 5 kids, and it's 5 backpacks and 5 notebooks and 5 crayons and 5, and you know what I'm saying? And we're giving out free clothes and ice cream and pizza and raffles and stuff. So it's much more than just getting a backpack. It's like we're really taking care of our community, and we've done it 10 years in a row without any assistance, like no programs and no grants, no government help, no nothing. There's been a couple people that partnered up and might have donated some bags and stuff, and we do GoFundMes and stuff, and we have donors and people that want to help and show up with supplies. And I mean, I had a great staff this year. It was like 20 people, mostly all women, from them, her mom, my kids, my daughters, my sister, Ariana, like all these people that helped, and they just really just stood there and held it down and dealt with the people. And this adversity, like this, you're still in the hood. There's still stuff happening. One lady was taking bags and going to the car and then selling the bag, like selling the stuff on the street. Like there was these Stanley cups. They're like really nice cups, and the boys club donated like 200 of them to us. And these cups probably go for like $20 or something. I don't know.
20, 30
the
bucks.
ladies out there selling the cups. And one of the girls working for us caught her and was like, "What are you doing? We're giving back to the people.
Taking
and
away
you're
from
stealing
people.
from them."
Posting them online.
Yo, crazy. So we had to kick her out. And it's unfortunate, you know what I mean, that people would do stuff like that. But anyway, I love doing it. We've done it for 10 years. We're going to continue to do it. I think next year we're going to do it bigger and better, and just keep giving back, man, because it's needed. And I think it's also so self-fulfilling. It can be draining. I mean, you got to take a couple weeks out of your life to
For
be
sure.
the organizer of that. So I always know going back to school is a lot for me because I'm doing that and I've dedicated myself to it. So I have to mentally prepare for it. And until it's over and I like get in my car and drive off and then go home and take that shower because I just,
Right.
it's in August, you know, I'm sweating, I'm running around. I just dapped up 500 people. You know what I'm saying? You need that shower, that sitting there for like 30 minutes and be like, thank you, God, it's over with. You know, I did what I was supposed to do. It went good, thank God, whatever, keep it moving. But I'm looking forward to it, man. I think this year we're launching our nonprofit next year. So I think next year we're going to really take the show on the road and start doing backpack giveaways in other cities and start doing other stuff like sneaker drives and, you know, all kind of cool stuff, man. I did the book this year helping out fathers and just parents in general. It's called 100 Ways to Be a Better Dad. So you can get that book right now on Amazon or on my website, gooddadgang.com. And I watched the book help a lot of people too. So I like doing stuff like that, man. I'm not just a rapper. I like to be a mentor to people and I like to give back.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Everything that I've gotten from this is it's really about like, especially you know having the platform that you have, but it's about educating people. It isn't just the like, hey, look at me, look what I'm doing, this that and the third. It's really like I'm here to pass these things down. I'm here to cultivate. I'm here to help support. You know, not take away from people.
For sure.
Because like I think those moments where you see those 100 people, you're like, man, this really puts things in perspective.
Sure.
Real quick. You're like, okay, like we need to do this and we are doing it. So I know that there is, you know, some semblance of change that is happening.
And when you hear the stories, one lady, oh my God, my house is burned down. I got 5 kids. My 3 little nephews is living with me. I need 8 bags. And you're like, you want to hope that she's not taking the bags and reselling them or doing some messed up stuff. You want to hope that, right? And with me, I mean, if you got to deal with God in the end. So if you're gonna come to me and tell me that your house burned down and you're taking care of 8 kids, when you get there, I hope you were telling the truth. You know,
he's gonna be like, how about them 8 kids?
Yeah, what's up with them 8 kids? What's up with all those Stanley Cups you sold on eBay and buy Hennessy with it? Like, so I hope that woman, you know, I would like to think that she was going through hard times and we helped her. I would like to think that, and I would hope that. Sometimes people in my life tell me like, Term, you have much too much faith in humanity. You know, sometimes I'm unrealistic with people's intentions because I know I got a good heart and I know I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't show up to a backpack drive and take 8 bags unless I needed 8 bags.
Right.
That's just me.
And at the end of the day, it's on them.
It's on them, bro. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I stole 5 backpacks from 5 little kids who needed it because I was lazy and didn't want to work, or I'm a scam artist, or I'm a thief, or whatever reason that you decided you told yourself it was okay to come take 8 bags when you didn't need them.
Yeah.
Now, if you needed them, I'm happy to give them to you. I'll give you 28 bags. You know, they came to me and said the church needed 50 bags. What we do? We went. We got two big backpacks and 2 big trash bags. We filled them up and we went through the back so nobody would see us anonymously and donated them to the church.
Right.
Because you know that's what they came to me and said they need that. All right, cool. Here we go. Let's go. It's all good. I got everybody. I'm not turning nobody away. That being said, sometimes people do messed up stuff, so we just gotta police it, you know?
Yeah. Which is wild because it's like you're there to give back to people. You're not asking people for money. You're not trying to do like you're like I'm literally just trying to give this stuff to you because you're in need, and they're like, oh, let me still find a way to be a scumbag about it and ruin it for people.
And you're never gonna stop bumping into scumbags.
Yeah.
And you're never gonna stop bumping into people that are gonna finesse you and try to finesse you. So you know, the positive is what I look at it from it. Right. It's a positive thing. It's great. We do it every year. Next year we're gonna do it bigger and better and do more stuff. And I want to continue to help fathers. You know, there's a lot of fathers that they go to court to fight for the kid. They can't see the kid. They're dealing with, you know, corruption in the system. They're dealing with child support cases. They're dealing with, you know, a lot of injustice when it comes to the court system and how fathers are treated. And that's a reality that a lot of us go through. And so those people, I want to try to help them. If you're coming to me and you're like, yo, I'm a good dad, I want to see my kid, I can't see my kid because XYZ happened, I'm going to hit you with a series of questions. And, you know, if you answer those questions correctly, I'll help you, you know. And if not, I'll tell you what you can do to help yourself. And good luck. And I wish the best for you, because I don't feel like nobody, you know, no parent should be denied access of their child, provided they're not really hurting that child.
Right, exactly.
Providing that, you know what I'm saying? Right. As long as you ain't doing nothing really bad to this child,
absolutely,
you know, you shouldn't be denied access because somebody else doesn't share the same vision with you, or they're bitter about the breakup, or they're taking advantage of the court system. And that's something that I've been helping people with for 10 years. And I noticed that this year, like, some people were sending me photos of them in the visiting room at court, because they can only see their kid at court for whatever reason. Right. And they're like, chapter, 46, sending me a picture. I'm reading your book. I'm trying. If you're in the courthouse and you're in the visiting room, you made that choice to go there and see that kid. Yeah. Even though you might feel like it's unfair, or you might have done something in the past where put you in that position. But if you're there and you're reading the book on how to be a better dad, and you're trying because you're there, you're already on the right path. So I wish the best, and I hope nothing but the best for those type of people. Obviously, playing devil's advocate, there's a lot of really bad dads out there. We're not going to stray away from that being a topic. But I don't, in my generation, when I go pick up my kid at school, I see so many dads. It's like 50-50 now. And it was not like that when I was a kid, I promise you. The projects I grew up in, it was 13 apartments in my building, and not one of us had a dad. Not one of us, the whole 13 of us. There was not one kid in my whole building who had a dad. Dang. Right? But this is 80s and 90s crack era, Lawrence Mass. That's a whole nother conversation about how strategically the father was taken out of the household. That's a whole nother deep conversation. And some of them were just scumbags and selfish and didn't care to see their kid. Right? So there's a lot with that. But what I focus on is trying to help advocate for, dads being in their kids' life and giving back to the community when I'm not being a full-time rapper and trying to be a good dad, simultaneously. So I wear a lot of hats, but I love everything I do.
Absolutely. You have to, or else obviously, one, you wouldn't do it.
Right.
And two, it wouldn't bring you that joy. And like you said, like one thing that you said was just like, I look forward to next year. I'm excited about next year. It's like, that just shows like the heart that goes into it. Because some people are like, oh man, like, all right, got to do this thing next year. It's like, are you really, what are your motives of really doing it?
Yeah, you feel bad sometimes. You feel like,
for sure.
You feel like, I don't know if I got it in me anymore to do this. Especially when certain things happen. We had the biggest sponsor we had pull out. This year somebody had told us they were going to be a sponsor. They were going to donate half the bags. They were going to bring 20 employees. And then, a couple weeks before, oh, sorry, we can't help you. And it's like all the pressure is back on me. So I'm like, yo, Nem, you ready? We're going to the store. We're going to go buy 200 backpacks at the dollar store. Then she's with me, filling 15 carts of backpacks. And then the next day, call my daughter. Yo, you ready? You coming with me? We out. And the next day and the next person. We're really, boots to the ground. This is us going to the store with our own money and doing this stuff. So, moving forward, I just got to work smarter, not harder, and learn from my mistakes. But it is something I'm looking forward to, and I think next year is going to be the biggest and best one that we have.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah, and not letting it fall, like you said. Like you could have been like, "Oh, the donor backed out. Oh, that's it.
We can't do it. What can we do?
Woe is me." It's like no, like especially if you're really passionate about it, you're like, we'll find a way.
We found a way, man. We found a way, and I've been coming up with different cool, creative ways to make it happen.
That's dope. That's dope. Shout out to Good Dads.
You know that Good Dad Gang all day.
Yeah. We about an hour, a little bit. I don't know.
Cool, man. Yeah, I just want to shout out, Termanology, new album on the way. Shout out my brother Tech. I'm really excited about the project. Cover art is amazing.
We'll flash it on the front.
Yeah. Shout out to Tech. We worked really hard on this one. I had a #1 album earlier this year on iTunes. It was my first
Saw that.
#1.
That's dope,
And it
dude.
was
That's
actually my
dope.
50th project. So
Oh, that's even better.
Think
dude.
about it.
That's
I was-
even better.
yeah, on the 50th year of hip hop.
Wow.
Because I was so heartbroken. Me and Paul Wall had a very successful 2-album run. And when, we hit top 5, which is still amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Still amazing. We're both legacy artists at this point. And we're fighting, chart positions with brand new artists, including some of the biggest artists. We came out the same week as Gucci Mane, Migos, Drake, and we're still top 5. So, I'm very proud of everything me and Paul did. But I was really hurt, like, damn, when am I gonna get that #1? It's not gonna happen, like, And then, the 50th one, Termanology solo album, hits #1 on iTunes.
That's dope.
And we all got a plaque. Nim got a plaque. Nasty
Saw
got
that,
a plaque.
yeah.
We all got a plaque, and we was able to bring it back home and do 978 Festival, where we all, where I brought the plaque and everybody was proud. And it's just, man, you can't make these stories up. It's God's plan. You gotta roll with it. So I had a super successful year, man, dropping that. I dropped 2 other projects, Summer Pack Part 2, Professional Smoke, and I decided to just end the year off, with the Tech album. We wanted to get it out this year so we could start next year with fresh new energy.
Absolutely.
And the music is great. I'm excited for the drop, and I want, I hope everybody enjoys it, enjoys the project, enjoys the music videos. If you're into vinyl and CD and stuff like that, we got all that available. So go get a piece of that history. And shout out to all my supporters, everybody who've been rocking with me for these 50+ albums, 20+ years. Yeah, foot on the gas. We're not stopping anytime soon.
There you go. That's what's up, man. I really want to say thank you for taking your time to come out here.
Yeah.
Have this conversation. I always say, I know I've been fed here, and I know, and I pray that anybody that is listening to this really just takes everything that's been shared here tonight.
Yeah, man, definitely. Appreciate you guys, man. I love your clothes too, man. The hat and the shirt.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I've been real spiritual lately, and I just felt good to look at that for an hour.
Amen. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. That's God, man. That's God. That's not me. That's God, man.
Indeed.
I appreciate that.
What brand is
So this shirt,
I wanted to ask you this whole time, but I didn't.
you're good. This is actually from my church. So the
Okay.
church put it together.
Beautiful.
So they sell it on their website. Beautiful Psalms. Shout out to Beautiful Psalms.
No doubt.
Got a bunch of different church wear, Christian
The hat
wear,
too?
if you will. So this is my brand.
Okay.
I started a brand called Have More Faith.
Nice.
Centrally Christian based.
Okay.
But I also want to just imply and just having faith in life and just trusting things that will happen, and just having faith that in yourself, having faith in God, and just knowing that things are going to work out no matter what
Right.
you're going through. Just keep pushing through and just have faith that it's going to happen.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So
doubt.
I've got some, I got hats, I got hoodies, tees out right now.
Great.
And, still growing, still learning. And it's a beautiful process. So
I'll
like
be
I said,
buying one of those hats because I love the message.
appreciate that. Thank
Definitely,
you. Thank
of
you.
course.
I want to say thank you to everybody that has been tuning in. I want to say God bless as always. Shout out to Kayla, who's not here, member of the team. We love you. We miss you. Hope you're doing well. But until next time, my name is Jay Faith. We also have
Termanology.
and as always, making his guest appearance back in front of the camera. It's been a minute. We got Crispy. And this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?